Good Sunday afternoon, and welcome to this beautiful church, St. James Episcopal Church in Greeneville, Tennessee. Greeneville is Tennessee's second oldest town, and St. James is one of the oldest churches in the area as well. I have a very special treat in store for you today, because just behind me you'll see this little organ. Hi there, this is future Joseph. I'm just editing the video and realized that Pastor Joseph made a mistake. He's going to say 1945, when in fact he does mean 1845. Back to you, Pastor Joseph. It is a 1945 James Hall organ. It's a mechanical action tracker organ with an English-style cabinet and a shelf keyboard, which goes inside when it's all locked up. This instrument is one of the few organs remaining from that time period from that specific builder. They were based in Baltimore, Maryland, and this instrument was built, shipped on a barge to Charleston, South Carolina, and then was brought over the Appalachians on an ox cart. Now, the interesting thing about this pipe organ is that it is the oldest pipe organ in the entire state of Tennessee, and it is believed to be the oldest pipe organ to ever cross over the Appalachian mountain range. So with all of that in mind, it's my great pleasure to introduce you to this beautiful little instrument. So here we are at the manual, single manual console of this little Hall organ. As I said, it was built in Baltimore in 1845, and it's believed to be the oldest instrument to ever cross the Appalachian range. It's very beautiful English cabinet style chapel organ. It is a tracker organ, meaning that when you press the keys, you're physically moving linkages which open the pipes manually. Also, the stops are all manual as well. One interesting thing about this organ is the swell shades. Unlike the modern instruments you may be used to if you're an organist, the shades do not stay where you put them. They are just weighted. So if I let this to the pedal, it would slam closed. And it's actually down is louder and up is quieter, unusually, compared to what we're used to. So one interesting feature about this being a cabinet organ is that when you are ready to pack up for the day, the manual actually just pushes back in and the keys drop down inside of the casing like so. And then this goes back in there. And this door closes. See if I can do it with one hand. Probably not. It's sort of tricky with one hand, but you get the idea. The cabinet closes like so to keep inquisitive fingers without permission off. And it does have the little skeleton key which locks that up, which I'll do since I'm finished with it for the day. Perhaps, once again, maybe I should do it with two hands. So on the back side of this instrument, it's interesting. It is still set up for manual bellows. So there would have been a bellows boy back here pumping by hand, and it still functions. Interesting as well, I noticed there is some graffiti from the boys who were pumping the organ. Looks like this one says Ed Richardson, 1896. And there's another one from perhaps 1870. So it's kind of sort of an interesting history. I suppose during the mass when they were back here pumping, if they got bored, they probably just started getting up to things like that. Obviously, if they stop pumping, the instrument's going to shut off. So if they weren't paying attention to when they needed to be, I'm sure there was many a boy who got scolded for that. Interesting. It's a real gem, and I'm really pleased to have been able to share this with you today, and I hope you enjoyed it.